In today's video, we're looking at price elasticity of demand. And these are the points on the spec that we are covering. So, what is price elasticity of demand? When the price of something changes, so does the demand for it. For example, if the price goes up, demand for it goes down, and vice versa. PED can be defined as how responsive changes in demand are to changes in price. PED has a formula, and that is percentage change in quantity demanded divided by the percentage change in price. Due to the inverse relationship between price and demand, the PED figure will always be negative. The formula for percentage change is the new value, take away the old value, divided by the old value, multiplied by 100. Now, let's try out a practice PED question. Say the price of a smartphone increased from £500 to £650, and this caused the demand for the phone to fall from 1,000 units to 800 units. Calculate the PED of the smartphone. Now, pause the video and have a go. The first thing to do when doing any calculation question is to first write out the formula. The next thing to do is calculate the percentage changes if they are not already given to you. Demand went from 1,000 to 800, so the calculation is 800 subtract 1,000 divided by 1,000 multiplied by 100, and this gives us a percentage change of negative 20%. Price went from £500 to £650. This means the calculation is 650 subtract 500 divided by 500 multiplied by 100 to give us a percentage change of 30%. Now we have the percentage change values, the last step is to put them into the PED formula. So that's negative 20 divided by 30, and that gives us an answer of 0.66 to 2 decimal places. Now we can calculate PED values, it's time we understand how to interpret them, starting with elastic demand. This is when demand is more responsive to changes in price, and we can tell a demand is elastic if the PED value is larger than 1. However, remember, values are always negative, so larger than 1 means the number is actually lower. So negative 2 would be more elastic than negative 1.1. Examples of goods with elastic PEDs are cars, jewellery, and designer clothes. Inelastic demand is when demand is less responsive to changes in price. A PED value is inelastic if the number is between 0 and negative 1. The closer to negative 1, the less inelastic. So negative 0.1 is more inelastic than negative 0.9. Examples of price inelastic goods are cigarettes, petrol, and bread. So, what are the factors that influence a product's PED? Well, is the product a luxury or a necessity? Does the product have any brand loyalty? What is the availability of substitutes? What proportion of the customer's income is spent on this good? And on what time frame? Let's look at each of these factors in more detail. If something is a necessity, and so is required for someone's everyday life, people will be less sensitive to it becoming more expensive. However, luxury goods are not essential, and so price changes are more significant. If people are loyal to a specific brand, they will still be willing to buy it even if the price increases, and so are more price inelastic. The more substitutes there are, the more price elastic something is, because if the price goes up, people will just buy something else. But if there aren't many substitutes, people have no choice but to pay the higher price. The higher the proportion of someone's income, the more sensitive they will be to changes in its price. For example, if a chocolate bar increases 10p in price, it's not as significant to the customer as if a car were to increase by £1,000. The more time people have to consider the purchase and look for substitutes, the more elastic something will be. For example, if fuel got more expensive, in the short term, people would just pay the price, but in the long term, they may switch to alternatives such as cycling or public transport. Now, what is the impact of PED on total revenue? For elastic PED, increasing the price will lead to a fall in total revenue, and decreasing the price will increase overall revenue. An elastic demand curve appears as a line with a shallow gradient. As we can see, at P1, this yellow shaded area would be the total revenue. However, if the price were to increase to P2, this green shaded area is the new total revenue. And we can see that the distance between P1 and P2 is smaller than the distance between Q1 and Q2. Therefore, competitive pricing strategies are the best move for firms with elastic PED products. Now we can move on to inelastic PED. Increasing the price will lead to an increase in total revenue, and decreasing the price will lead to a fall in overall revenue. An inelastic demand curve can be shown by a line with a very steep gradient. At P1, the total revenue is represented by this yellow shaded area. However, if we were to increase the price to P2, this green shaded area is the new total revenue, and we can see it is a larger box. The distance between P1 and P2 is larger than that of Q1 and Q2. Therefore, price skimming strategies are the best move for firms with inelastic goods or services. Anyway, that's enough for today's video. Thank you for watching. If you found the video helpful in any way, make sure to like, subscribe, and share it with your friends.